Hello and welcome to another live from me. I'm Lucy Brand, founder of the Mystic Ministry and the Sensual Supper Club and lucy-brand.com. And today we're going to be talking about the messaging and the story behind my branding because I haven't really thought about this, but it's a really big part of what I do and why I do what I do. If you would like any help in getting to the next level or moving through any blocks that you've got going on currently in your life, business or career, then head on over to lucy-brand.com and I can help you out there by booking a session with me. Okay, so today, I'm going to start with the Mystic Ministry. The Mystic Ministry came about last year because my businesses have had several evolutions. So I started out as a online marketing mentor for women because that was my background, digital marketing, and my business was called Lady Digital back then. And it was really successful, but my heart wasn't really in it. Like it wasn't bringing all of me to the table. And the other thing I discovered was that all of my clients, it was never about the marketing plan. It was never about the digital strategy. It was all came down to confidence and self-worth. So that's, and it always does. Everything is about self-worth. It really is. Every problem. Or is there in the Course of Miracles, it says every problem is separation, which is the same thing because it's separating you from your worth because you are worthy and deserving of everything. So then I changed. I switched up and trained as a coach. And also I did some energy work, although I did channel at the time. And spoke with guides, oracle card readings, things like that. But I did it very much on the low down. I was never doing it professionally, if you like, because it just wouldn't really come out. Like I didn't feel confident coming out the spiritual closet. But for years, I've had my gifts since birth. So for years, people would ask me stuff like, "Oh, Lucy, what do you see? Do you see this in my future? Do you see this happening? Do you see that happening?" And like I could tell because I can see the future. But obviously, like it depends because there's different timelines. Yeah. So a future I could share with you is, that's one possibility out of a million. But yeah, so it's a kind of, and I've been having visions throughout my life of past, present, future lifetimes, all the rest of it, meeting beings and stuff. It was very traumatic. Yeah, it was traumatic when I was younger because you really just don't know what's reality and what's not. Being a teenager was very challenging anyway. So then hearing voices and things like that, it was really challenging because I always felt very different to everyone else. So now with the beauty of the internet, there's lots of other people out there that have a similar experience to mine. So you feel less alone and weird now. But yeah, so, and then I think it just was then it was just coaching, but I would still channel in my sessions, my coaching sessions. I would still channel and I would do a lot of healing rather than coaching. And I would blend the two, I would merge the two. And yeah, after that, it was kind of last year and we were playing around with a few things. I was working with another coach and I was trying to share my vision, my dream for my business. And I really want it to be worldwide, international, and really open to everyone because my thing is I would like a more to empower women. Like I believe that women should be empowered, wealthy, and turned on because they make the best leaders when you're in that state. And then also it's because there's also men supporting women. For example, my husband, like he's massively supported me in my work and with my confidence, in my healing journey, all of it. And it's men like him that celebrate us women we need more of. but yeah, so I was just trying to talk about this, and then I was like, oh, my friend was saying, well, my coach was saying, I always see you as a mystic. Like, I don't really know what you do, but I don't need to do because you just get really good results, which is true. And I can't sometimes articulate what I do, what I actually do, because I do channel. So that means that a lot of the stuff that comes through me might not have English words. I'm not very fond of labels because I just think it doesn't describe things. So my example of this is always the word love. So the word love, that means something completely different, and it feels completely different to me than it will do to you. But also, you have different love depending on who you're with. So whether it's a sibling, whether it's a parent, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend, they're all different kinds of love, but we use one word to describe it all. So that's why sometimes it can be really challenging for me to explain what I do, because there isn't the language for it, the English language for it. There aren't the labels for it, if you like. So it's more like experiencing what I do, and then you'll get it. Then people get it. But yeah, so we were talking about this, and she said, oh, I just see you as a mystic. You do magical work, you facilitate healing, but I don't actually know what it is. And I was like, oh. And I was talking to her about how I really love being on stage. I love it. I love talking to people, I'm connecting with people, and I love communicating with people. And I've done a few talks recently in memberships, and it's just been phenomenal. I just love it. That's my happy place. And so I was shouting about this, and then one of my one of the people that I find so inspirational is the late Reverend Ike. I just think he was incredible, way ahead of his time. With his science of living and talking about the be, do, have model, which most coaches talk about now. And he was talking way back about that in the 70s and the 60s. And he had his own church from very, very humble beginnings. And it just blows my mind what he managed to achieve. I just think he's incredible. And so I was talking about how he's really inspired me, and I would love to have my own kind of church, like international, but not from a religious point of view, because I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So there's a bit of a difference there. And it would be open to everyone who wanted to shift their reality. And that's when a coach was like, well, what about the mystic ministry? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do. Good work, healing work, lifting the vibration of the world, helping people to live their best life and create the life that they desire. So that kind of came about, and I just loved it. It stands for everything that I desire to do. My big vision is very much embedded in that, and also the work that I do and the work that I put out. But it also has taken years to get to that evolution as well. I think that's the thing. Sometimes in business, people want it all now, and in the beginning, you all want to know exactly what you're doing. The spoiler alert, most business owners do not know what they're doing because it's trial and error. It really is trial and error. And don't forget, you evolve as well. And as a business owner, that means your business will evolve because your needs will change over time, particularly after what we've just gone through with COVID, and what we're still going through. So that was one part. And then the other part, the Sensual Supper Club, this came out of, so a lot of the work I do again with women is about desires and sexuality and intimacy and creative life force energy, because the most powerful energy on the planet is our sexual energy, is our creative life force energy, because it creates life. And as a woman, when we climax, we're wired differently to men, but when we climax, it shuts down the fear and the anxiety receptors in our head, in our mind. So it actually means that we short circuit ourselves to bliss when we're climaxing. And so if you mix that in with sexual energy, it's the most powerful manifesting option to us women on the planet. So in the universe, actually. So I work with a lot of women to facilitate and manifest, their desires through harnessing their sexual energy. And also, when women come together and talk about their experiences when it comes to love and intimacy, a really beautiful thing happens where you start to connect, you feel less alone, you sometimes learn things as well because there's different people. Like, as I always say, everyone is so unique, no one is the same. So you can learn stuff. You also feel like less alone as well, because a lot of the experiences other people may have shared. And it really brings you together in this beautiful, playful curiosity of excitement and love, and unifies us, which again, I'm all about, is unity. It's the new paradigm is all about unity and collaboration and love. So it kind of came about from that. I was at a day event, and I was sharing what I do, how I help women to really go to the next level, because everything is about love and money. Okay, that's the two things. And for us women, it's been slightly difficult for us because when it comes to money, because really, we've only been able to make our own money in the last century, let's say, or we've even really only got to vote in the last century or so. Before that, if you didn't birth a son, you could have all your money taken away from you, all your inheritance, and be out on the street if you didn't find a man to marry, or had a male cousin. So it was really, we've been disadvantaged for many centuries now. And so all of this plays in, whether you're conscious to these limiting beliefs or societal beliefs or not, it will play a huge part in how your finances are. Like, whether you have your own business and make money that way, or whether you have a career and make money that way, it'll all be impacting. And so it's quite different for women, the way it's kind of come about, if you like. So our beliefs are slightly different to men's in this term when it comes to money. And then the same with love, because we're wired genetically different. There can be a lot of things there. And I do a lot of womb work, womb healing and heart healing, because there is actually a connection between a woman's heart and a woman's womb, actually specifically to her cervix. So if you experience a heartache, so that could be loss, maybe you've split up from a partner or you've lost someone, we work on healing the heart. But what actually we also need to look at as a woman is healing our womb as well. And our wombs are our source of creation. So that could mean life in terms of children, but it can also mean creation of ideas, like birthing ideas, birthing businesses, birthing new friendships. Like, it's all, this place comes from our womb, which is actually our source of powerhouse. That's our source of power. And what tends to happen is that over time we might lose our connection, and then we lose our connection to our femininity and our power. And it's about reigniting that through the power of orgasm and through our sexual energy. And because when a woman's turned on, and I mean that by turned on to life, so when you're going for a walk in nature and everything seems so vibrant. I don't know if you've ever experienced some form of sadness or depression or low times like that. I certainly have, in many times throughout my life. And I spoke with a friend a long time ago about this, and what it is for me, this is my experience, it was like being in a fog and everything was grey. Everything was just grey. And when that fog lifted, it was like everything was in technicolor. Absolutely everything was in technicolor, and that vibrancy and that juiciness and that, even the leaves on the trees or the flowers, it was like I was seeing everything in technicolor for the first time when that's lifted. And that's what I mean, being turned on, switched on to life, to your work, whatever it might be. And for women, the root of that is connecting with ourselves and intimacy. And then once we connect with ourselves and heal things on a cellular level, that's when the money flows in, because we feel worthy and deserving of it. And money, again, is just an energy. It's us that attach these things to it, these labels or these lower vibrational emotions because of experiences that we've had in this lifetime and previous lifetimes and future sometimes. And so it's about working on them together. So literally all my clients, every time, it's always love and money for years now. I've created a program called Love and Money Mastery, and it was brilliant. So yeah, that's what the Sensual Supper Club is about. It really takes my tagline of like, I believe the world needs a more empowered, wealthy, turned on women leaders. That's what the Sensual Supper Club is about. It's about this women coming together and sharing their experiences and giggling and having fun and talking about sex and things like that, and just connecting with each other, but in a really beautiful environment. I haven't been able to do it in COVID times because it's, you know, it's very sensual in terms of the music. Like we'll have dinner and a really beautiful vegan meal, you know, things like that to really work with your senses. And lovely questions to help you open up and meet new people. And also you find that when people are in that relaxed state and they're talking and they're having dinner, that's when I've seen the most amazing business being done, when people are sharing what they do and they're not on a sales call and, you know, having to share what they do and how they can help. When people are just open and honest and just chatting in a relaxed atmosphere. So that's how the Sensual Supper Club came about. And so I remember we were writing on these big bits of paper at this event I was at. It was an intimate event. There was maybe only 10 or 12 of us. And I'd shared what I did, and then I was writing and I was channeling, and they said to me, the Sensual Supper Club, and I was like, oh, I don't know, is that too risky? And they were just like, no, you have to do it. So, and that's how it came about. I just channeled that name. And for me, it sits very perfectly under the Mystic Ministry, because again, the Mystic Ministry is all about creating the life that you desire. You don't have to be mystical or a mystic yourself. You just have to desire to have and enjoy and live a better life for yourself and your family and community and the world. Because when you work on yourself, it's a game changer for everyone else. When you work on yourself, you'll see the results in everyone around you. So that's a little bit behind. I could tell, like, I'm really buzzing about it because I don't often think about it. You know, in your business, you're just doing rather than working on your business, or sometimes talking about the story behind your business. But yeah, so this has been a really lovely video for me to do, to remind myself of why I do what I want to do, why my branding is my branding. So if you like this video, then please give me some love, hearts, thumbs up, that would be lovely. And thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.